Hello Internet. As you can see, we got another project that I'm working on. This is a 55-gallon fish tank. Another free one. And it needed to be resealed. I went ahead and did that. I'm not going to go back and rehash a video that I've done 20 times already. Not really, but it does have another problem besides having needed to be resealed. Right here in the center, the brace is gone. And I see everybody posting pictures of their broken braces. How do I fix this? Well, this is how I fix them. This isn't the only way to fix them. This is how I do it. I have another old tank. Well, this used to be a tank. But I cut these pieces out of an end pane of glass off of a 50-gallon. It's just a little bit shorter than the 55s. And it's still good glass. I know it's safe for aquarium use. I know it's strong enough because it used to be part of an aquarium. So, and then everybody's like, well, how do I know what length I need to cut it? Well, I'm going to show you. You see this seam here? And that seam there? That distance is the same as the distance here. So, we're going to measure this seam from this seam to this seam, and that's how long we're going to cut that piece of glass. Now, got to get my other leg here, and we'll come over here and get the one of the good tape measures. Never mind all the junk on the floor. Now, you can see we'll line it up right on that seam, and we'll line up right on this seam over here, and we find out it's exactly 12 inches. It's right there on the seam to right there on the seam. Actually, it's just under a 1/16 of an inch over 12 inches. So, I'm going to stretch this out, lock the tape measure, and pull out a fish safe marker. We're going to come in here as best we can at 12 and 1/16. We're going to mark it. Now the tools we need to actually make our cut are pretty straightforward and simple. We need a straight edge. There's a straight edge. We need a glass cutter. Now, all over the forums online, people are saying, oh, I bought this fancy one, cost me $85, and it dispenses a little bit of oil as you're scratching and this and that, and it's essential that you have oil to cut a piece of glass. I'm here to tell you that's a bunch of hogwash. Line up your glass with your straight edge at the mark, and you have to have a pretty sharp angle. Drag it across. Make sure that it's all the way. Here's our secret weapon right here. See how my scratch is right through the mark? That means it should be the perfect length. We line that mark up with the corner of our pencil, the crown of the pencil I should say, and we're going to lay this down and apply some pressure. See how nice and neat that broke? Bing, done. It's a little wavy in there, but such is the nature of glass. Now, this is no slip sandpaper. We're just gonna buff up the edge of this glass and get rid of all the imperfections. So you can have as much contact with the far side as possible. And a little bit of acetone to clean up the edges where we're going to have silicone. Clean that up. Get rid of our old mark there. I'm going to line this up, make sure it fits. Fits just fine. Now our edges are cleaned with acetone. And we also need to concentrate on where we're going to be putting some of our silicone. So got any old silicone in there, you need to clean it out. And in this one there's a little bit of a gap up under the edge of the rim. If we take a close look, I'm going to fill that gap and this gap with silicone, which I happen to have right here. There we go. Put a little bit of silicone on the ends of the piece of glass. Someplace where it won't grip. Squeeze it up in there. Try and pull this one out a little bit. There we go. Press that silicone just a little bit. Now, where did I put my tape? Right there. Could you grab that for me, please? Thank you. Now, laid down. I'm going to go in from the back side and apply a bead of silicone on both the bottom and up here at the top. Stuff's potent, especially when you get get it up your nose. And just like before, we're going to take a piece of an old window blind and we're going to cut it, kind of round it on the end. We're going to come in, we're going to dress this edge so it looks nice and pretty. Did the same on the top. Now, this just goes in the garbage. And to assure that we don't have any slips and tricks here, just use some painter's tape. Tape that in place so that gravity doesn't take over and end up causing us all kinds of headache and heartache. And in about 12 hours, that will be cured enough to take the tape off. And I'm going to do something else here. I'm going to put a weight on here so that I got a couple blocks of wood from the stand that I just built for this tank and for another tank, and I have a nice rock. That's gonna help that nice smooth edge that I made with this sandpaper join up well with this nice flat piece of glass, and it should join up just nicely enough and replace what we need structurally for our center brace. And like I said, this is the same thickness of glass the tank's made out of. It's 4 inches wide. It's going to provide all the support we need to keep her from pulling apart. Hope you learned something, and if you have any questions or comments, please leave them down below. I'll get back to them as soon as I possibly can. And don't forget to hit the like and subscribe buttons if you want to keep seeing videos like this. Any constructive criticism, I'll welcome that too. And until then, we'll talk at you later, guys. High five, happy fish keeping.